All right, what's up, everyone? We are live. We're not going to do the intro music tonight. Y'all know I don't want to call you guys bitches at the beginning of the stream
without hiring anyone. Let me explain.
I'll just see that now. I got a freaking like ad going. And I don't know which like freaking tab it is. All right, there we go. I've got like so many freaking tabs going on, guys. Tonight we have Narwhal here with us, Plaster Harris. You're probably familiar with his work that he did with Mark Millar with Vatican City. I've known Narwhal for probably 5 or 6 years, and it's gonna be a great show. Probably the last time we streamed together was like 5 years, so it's gonna be 5 years ago. So it's gonna be a good one. Real quick, let me get into the chat. We got Sketchstar Rex, my editor. Let's effing go, guys. By the way, Sketchstar was able to get me the edits for Blackjack Duelist this weekend, and I basically used 100% of all of his suggestions, the ones that I could, pretty much. And that's going to be going out to everyone tomorrow. Don't dead name per Tyler. I'm sorry. Massive Panda, I actually had all 3 issues of Vatican City on my pull list. I haven't read them yet, but I'm excited to do so. Critical Reads, Hail Chat, finally got a vacation, so tonight I get to watch live. Heck yeah. We got Ichthus in the house. We got Jose Garcia, artist, by the way, of Blackjack Duelist. So yeah, guys, check your inboxes tomorrow for the digitals if you back the book. As well. The next book that we've got on our radar is Bull Assassin Living in a Fantasy World, number 1, 2, and 3. There's no link for this yet. I'm still building out the campaign. This will be a short one, probably like 20 days. But be ready for that. And then Super Plumber Sisters is still going on Kickstarter for late pledges. Oh gosh, we went up by like $100. Look at that. So if you didn't jump onto the Kickstarter, you still have time. This is the next book. This is the current book that I'm working on finishing up. So yeah, super stoked to get this going. And yeah, guys, I'm super tired. I'm freaking exhausted. I'm gonna give you guys some quick updates, then we're gonna bring on this channel is probably I've been wanting to build more out of this channel. What's hard is my day job, I'm constantly marketing and creating content. And so when I get home, it's like, do I want to create more content? Because literally I get to work at 6 a.m. I'm making videos, editing videos, creating marketing campaigns for people. It's intense. Plus I'm building out 2 or 3 other personal brand content funnels so that I can bring on more clients for this business and myself. It's nuts. And it's man, I want to make more comic book content. And so what I'm thinking is I have that channel, the Manga Cafe. I'll probably do pre-recorded content on that channel, and we're going to just keep the Draw and Talk stuff to live shows with a couple clips. YouTube just came out with a new clip feature. So we're going to try to utilize that. But yeah, we're going to try to do some stuff. I want to be making comics. I want to, comics is a silly goose time, but also I want to, I want to make that money. And I think I'm going to be able to do that in a different sector of the world. In the marketing and business side of things. So, all right, without further ado, let's, we got Dakari here. How you doing? Tyler, my fellow Draw and Talk enthusiasts, I pray you all have a truly blessed August. Love you all. Sorry I can't stay. Hey, no problem, Dakari. Thanks so much for being here. Khan, thank you for the $2. Great work on the Plumber Sisters. Hey, thank you so much. We're working hard. Massive. Panda says, I back Super Plumber Sisters Friday, I think. Congrats on the campaign. Hey, thanks so much. Massive, I think there's only so much both you and your audience can expect from yourself with having a 9-to-5 job, a family, traveling, YouTube content creation, and comic book production. There's a ton. Yeah, I'm literally waking up at 5 a.m. so I can have more hours to get stuff done. It's unhealthy. All right, guys, let's bring on Per. Done. And now I gotta switch over to the freaking StreamYards. How you doing, man? OBS. Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, I'm not using. I got really angry at. I guess I could start. I guess I could use. Yeah, well, I got pissed off because they auto charged me. And and I was like, oh, I'm $400 like more broke. What happened? And it was like StreamYard. I was like, whoa, $400 since when? And I was on there. I was on like one of their legacy accounts, which I was paying $99 a year. And yeah, they threw that out there. I was like, okay, that's ridiculous. They charge too much. Dude, phenomenal artist. Yeah, dude, same. Yeah, dude, super phenomenal artist. He's like the first artist I've worked with in a while where I didn't have to really do any art stuff. Like I sent him some sketches of the pages. I send sketches of all my books to the artist. Like, hey, this is what I'm envisioning, but you do you. And then typically the artist will like send me something, and I've still got to like go in and like do stuff. Oh shoot!
Yes, picking up.
I had you on mute.
Oh, okay.
You guys should hear him now. I'm so sorry, guys.
We were talking about Jose. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Club Lamp Fury. We both work with Jose. So yeah, that's all it was really. But yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, real quick. So yeah, we streamed together. I know it was 5 years ago or what. It was a while ago. And I remember, like I remember you were super friendly, like you are now. I remember you used the word silly goose, which is one of your things, a trait or whatever, a meme for your channel. So that's cool. I was gonna ask you too, because I saw the Super Plumber Sisters. Has that been like a pretty big hit for you? Is that one like one of your biggest hits even? Or
it started off. It's probably my third. It's probably my third best series. Like my most profitable is a series called My Sexy Witch Academia, and it really plays off the Kickstarter algorithm. They love them sexy books.
Yeah.
But also like I've really weaved in I've actually been getting comments recently because I just fulfilled that Kickstarter this week, and I've been getting emails and comments from the reader saying like, I backed this book at the beginning because it was just like boobs and Harry Potter parody, but now it's not even. They thought it was a parody. I marketed it as a parody, and by book 2, it was completely original, and now by book 3, it's like we're doing our own thing. And a lot of the backers are like, oh, like I didn't know it was gonna go into this deep, or there's this much story. I was backing it just for the boobs, so like let's keep this series going. So that's probably my best series, and then my next best series is The Girl with the Mega Fists, and then probably Super Plumber Sisters is this one. This one had a great start though. It started off at like I did 20K on the first campaign. It helped that I got canceled the night before on Twitter during the hashtag Comics Broke Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I lost my publishing deal, so I was able to then like launch the next day, and like people were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna support Tyler," and then they didn't come back for book 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, that's good. That's funny. When I'm glad there's at least that reaction to canceling, because I hate cancel culture. So.
Yeah, dude, it's rough. It's rough, but it's one of those things where like one thing I've noticed like in the indie internet culture is you really want to like own your audience. And one thing like I learned from some creators over the years, I'll just name drop like Nasser. I remember Nasser came up with us when we started like 6-7 years ago, and he was on like all the big streams. And then I remember when he decided to be like I'm gonna do my own thing, he didn't actually own his audience. He was
yeah, like if he left, he can't take them with him.
Yeah, and like he was renting in when he was basically renting an audience whenever he put a book out. He's like, man, I'm not getting the numbers. I should go back to this particular group, and then they'll tell their people to back my book. And I'm like, dude, like you want them to back your book because they like you and your book. So like start all over and like and build. And someone asked me last week, are you sad that Super Plumber Sisters didn't hit 20K like the first campaign? I'm like, well, the first campaign, I think I had, some, my own audience. I had some new people, but I also had some people who just backed because they were like anti-cancel culture, but that was really all that they wanted to support.
Yeah. So that's like a little bit, renting that audience, not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
It's actually in a good way that they come in and do that.
What's been your experience, by the way, of you've kind of made the the conversion of going from like Indiegogo to like now over to Kickstarter. How's that been?
Yeah, seems like it's going okay. Yeah, speaking of audience, there were things I've been curious about is like, will Mark Miller clout play into this at all? And to that, it's like, not exactly. Although I think at some point I can hit him up for like, hey, can I get a retweet,
Yeah.
sir? Please, thank you very much. And like that will help, or like that is it's more eyes or whatever. But yeah, it's like people who love Vatican City. This is like different art style. It's a different artist, different writer, because Mark wrote Vatican City and me and Jared wrote this one. So it's like there's kind of no overlap there. I've heard that about people who do Batman too. Like, so this is like big leagues, but if you do Batman and then you crowdfund, you're not going to bring all the Batman readers
Over
to your
you.
crowdfund, Yeah. But there is like people who like you and follow you. And at this point, yeah, like I have like, it seems like at maybe like 300 or so. I mean, I don't want to jinx it now. We'll see where this one ends up. But like around 300 people will kind of back my stuff. So I kind of have an audience of about that. And they have a mailing list. My mailing list is like 1,200. So I'm like, I send it out and I, go on streams and promote. You're doing everything.
Yeah.
But then, and it's always like whatever the mailing list, if it's pretty high, it's, it's half of a half of a half.
Yeah.
You get back people backing it or whatever.
Yeah. What's interesting about like Mark Millar, he did a Kickstarter recently. I was shocked it didn't do like massive numbers.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would do more, but it did good, But yeah, I told him, I was like, I think you got to just fulfill one, because a lot of people they almost have trauma from not getting a book fulfilled. So you got to fulfill one, and it'll grow from there, I think. So he could pretty quickly be getting up in the, whatever. And also, I am curious if he just did something like super sexy or whatever, if it did just totally.
Yeah, I mean, they also like they didn't. It wasn't even under like an account like named Mark Millar. It was like some weird publishing company.
Yeah.
So I think that if it had been like Mark Millar's account, you'd been like, oh, like it's really him. I don't know, or maybe it's just maybe his audience isn't wanting to back him on Kickstarter.
Yeah, because he has a big mailing list, but it's just like, I don't know if his mailing list say it's like 10,000. I actually don't know, but and then I think he got 2,500 backers. A lot. That's kind of a lot, but
that is a lot.
Yeah, if you compare that to like it is like the huge crowdfunders or like Ripaverse or whatever, we're getting like, I mean, yeah, they're getting like 10,000 backers or something, on their big campaigns. So.
Yeah. What was it like? What was it like working with Mark Millar?
It was great, but it was like pretty stressful, and I had imposter syndrome for a little bit. I kind of got over that maybe like halfway through, I think. But it was like, but yeah, very stressful. But there's some funny like anecdotes, like when we were emailing and he had hired me, and that was his first email. I think he's like, hey, I might have something for you. What's your schedule look like? It was like 1 sentence offer to work with him. And I was like, like kind of short circuited just from that. That was like a Twitter DM that he sent me.
Shut
and
up.
To go back really fast, I can give you a quick, like a fast breakdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you go way back, I was working with your boy Zach, Richard Meyer. And then this is when his channel was like the lightning in the bottle channel kind of. So like 2019 or whatever. And I had done Foreign Agent. So Zach had really liked Earthbound. That's why I'd worked with him. Then I did Foreign Agent. He reviewed that on his channel and he gave it a really good review, like very effusive kind of. Like the Earthbound one too. I got 2 really good reviews from your boy Zach on his channel. And then after that, Mark Miller followed me. And so I was like, shit, dude, if he follows me, that means I can like DM him, but what do I even say? And I was like, did he follow me because of your boy Zach's review? And so I actually asked him, I was like, do you follow me because of the review? He's like, oh yeah, I follow his channel and I watch yours. I follow you as well. He's like, you're doing a great job, kid. Keep it up. Something like that. So from that point, we were kind of like pen pals, but it was like not mentorship, because he doesn't exactly do that. I don't think, but I was kind of feeling that out. I was like, dude, just mentor me, whatever. Like, but he was more just very encouraging. Um, and yeah, and that so like I check in with him every 6 months or whatever and show him some art, and he likes all my stuff. But then what was funny is he saw some actually older art I had done that was traditionally drawn,
Mm.
and it was a Mad Max short comic I had done, and that was a big kind of turning point too, because then he actually was kind of messaging me a few times. He's like, "Hey, keep exploring that style. Go down that road a little bit
Oh,
more because
really?
that's amazing." Yeah, and I was like, "Sure." So I kind of start doing that. I get my scanner out of storage and I'm like drawing traditional again. And then like 2 or 3 months into that, he got sent me that message and he's like, "Yeah, you wanna? What's your schedule like? I might have something for you." I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
That's exciting.
So
That's exciting.
yeah, yeah. So it was cool, and it's kind of classic-ish, just networking via Twitter, getting your stuff out there, having I had some positive word of mouth around my work, and that's what got his attention. And then we were DMing, and then when he hired me, there was a point where I asked him to. He had sent me the script or whatever, and I was like, "Okay, so you want me to do like thumbnail layout breakdowns, send them to you for approval, and then do the pages?" And he's like, "Nope, I only work with the best, so just do what you do."
Shut
I was like,
up. Oh,
yeah, and I
wow.
was like, "Shit." So that actually got me extra nervous too.
Because you're like,
That was
oh,
right
he's
towards the beginning.
expecting like it. When I turn it
Yeah,
in, it's
yeah.
it.
And then, well, the thing, if you go through your head, you're like, "Ah, these are the people he's worked with," and you name like five.
Sean Gordon
They're all like the best of all time, and
Murphy.
I'm like, I'm not as good as those guys. If you go through all his body of work, then I'm like, okay, I'm like, like lower end of average, or maybe I can, if I improved over the course of the project, I can get upper end of average. But I can't beat these five guys that are his best that he's worked with or whatever. But but I did improve a lot as we went, so that actually felt good. I was really glad about that. Just jumping in, and yeah,
Did he
I redrew a lot of pages.
did
It's
he
fun.
request it to be done traditionally, or did you do it because then you could do the play of selling the original pages later on?
He never said do it traditionally, but he said do it in the Mad Max style, and
Okay.
I knew what that meant. I knew that meant like I got to do it traditionally.
What's
So.
like the lead time that you're able that he gives you? Like, did you have to complete the whole story before they then like put it out?
Yeah, but I had like a year
Okay.
or so what it was, and I mean it was actually like I think production was like 9 months, and so it was like 3 months per issue for 3 issues,
Oh, that's nice.
and yeah, so it was doable. It ended up being they're like 30-page issues, so they're I don't know it ended up being a lot of work because I was coloring them too, and that's why I was like, man, if I ever did a project where I was like just the penciler. I feel like I could go pretty fast, like, but I don't know if I want to do that. But in like another era, if I lived in the '80s or something.
Yeah, I have your. I'll like turn my camera off. I was like, I've got Earthbound right here from freaking
Nice.
from 7 years ago, man.
Yeah,
Did
that's
has
first printing.
do you see that guy's first printing? It's fucking limited edition right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Like, yeah, signed Narwhal 2019. Has 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 doing that the Vatican hasn't opened any doors for you into the mainstream.
So yeah, I was curious about this too, and it hasn't had people knocking on my door, but I have a bunch of doors that I could knock on that I kind of haven't yet. But like
What?
that's so I kind of feel like it kind of has, but right now I'm just because actually I put a bunch of stuff on hold to work with Mark Miller, so I'm like finishing all that. Like one is like a new Earthbound book, so I'm kind of like back to crowdfunding for like at least a year.
Uh huh.
Um, and I want to do that. Like I kind of prefer it in a lot of ways, but you can't make quite as much money, and you don't grow. Maybe your audience is big or get out there as much. So I want to like if the right opportunity came up, I would just like drop stuff again and work mainstream. But but yeah, so it like I think I have connections with Dark Horse now, so I could pitch stuff to them, and
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and
yeah,
it's just at that point like utilizing that connection. Like I know that there are like some creators who they're like they don't have like the social skills to like network very well, so they're like bothering people all the time, or they're just like it's just like this take relationship, and like you have to have like some nuance and ability to hey, maybe now's not a good time to pitch this, or hey, stop bothering this person, you're gonna ruin this relationship.
yeah. I was nervous about that with Mark Miller because I'm like working with him, and I'm like, how much are we supposed to email each day? And I'm like, okay, when I work with people, sometimes it's like strictly business. And I'm like, but I want to like push it a little bit and like become friends a little bit, you know? So like I'll DM him like a meme once in a while, and sometimes he'll respond and sometimes not, you know, he's like he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but definitely like I'm like, don't be too needy, don't be too needy or whatever.
Were you ever scared of people trying to clout hop you? Like, oh, now I'm going to be best friends with Per because
Well,
he worked with Mark
that
Millar.
there was a little bit of that, but it made me laugh because I don't feel like you know, like it's totally not like people. I think people might have got the wrong idea almost. I think people thought like, oh, Pear's going to be a millionaire now, and it's he already. This is something he told me too right away, but he's like, um, he already sold to Netflix, so I'm just work for hire. And he's like, do you still want to do it? I'm like, sure. He's like, we'll pay you a really good pay trade. I was like, yeah, of course I would still want to do it.
Uh-huh.
This is like my big break or whatever. But yeah, I think people might have thought like, oh, Pear's a co-owner on something that's going to be a movie. He's going to be a millionaire. And then there was a little bit of that, like, but it more just like amused me. I don't think it was ever too egregious or
All right,
toxic or
that's
anything.
good. Because I remember I was in like a DM group with some creators, and everyone was like, I'm put in these like DM groups. You probably are too, and you just like lurk because you just like get thrown in there, and they're like, yo, this like you see Narwhal call Mark Millar thing, and they're like, yeah, like we should like bring him in, and we should talk to him again because we haven't. And we should talk to him. Again. And I was just like, and I'm just lurking, and I'm just like, oh, you guys, you pieces of shit. Like, he's probably. I was curious if you were just getting like inundated with like, I'll be your friend now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember if I can think of anything specific, but I remember just getting a little bit of those vibes. But I don't know. And a lot of times that's like, it's can be good because you get like opportunities or whatever. But
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember seeing some people who like are like, oh, I'm gonna be Narwhal's friend. So you've got a Kickstarter going on right now, Hotel Story Part 2. One thing that I have always admired of what you've done with your quote unquote career is your just desire to create fun books. I mean, this isn't like I found your eBay store. This isn't even everything. Like we've got Earthbound. You don't like you have like Hotel Story 1 right here. You know like Foreign Agents not on here. Nosferatu.
yeah, those I think a lot of those sold out. So I gotta get
Yeah.
more in there. Mail them to the gentleman who's helping.
You had like a jungle girl one. I remember.
Yeah, Cave Slave.
Cave
yeah.
Slave, and then you also another one I remember you doing. I don't know if you actually made a comic, but out of it, but you posted it. It was like a pixel art, you know, like the Pokemon, like what it looked like the old school Pokemon. You had
Yeah.
like a comic like that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that was with Jared, who Jared is the co-creator with Hotel Story. And
Okay.
our first collaborative project was that Pixel comic, which was an adaptation of Franz Kafka's The Trial. And we got one chapter in and kind of abandoned it because it wasn't getting the reaction that we were hoping from like editors and stuff. People weren't like, oh wow, this is amazing, addictive. More like it was a cool, I forget what you call it, just like a fancy, you know, like, oh, this is the object is cool, but the comic itself,
It's
why would I read this?
I still think like, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like when it comes to like the stuff that you do and the projects you work on, what makes you go like I'm gonna go in on this story? Like why? Like what you're building out Hotel Story Part 2. Like what's making you
Yeah.
go? I'm gonna go all in on this series.
This one, it was like the collaboration with Jared was on my list because I met him like 10, well, now it might be like 15 years ago, even, well, maybe just 10 years ago, but in Iowa City. And when I lived there, I would go to some clubs on campus. There was a video game making club, and then Jared was part of that club too. So we were kind of friends, but he hosted a like weekend comic jam that I went to, and his comic was totally the best. And from that moment, he was kind of on my radar, and we were pretty good buddies. So even after I moved away, we kept in touch, and I was always like, man, Jared, like, obviously his art is like got this kind of iconic style that I really enjoy, cartoonist style, you know. But he's a really good writer too, and just kind of an interesting fella, interesting mind or whatever. So I was like, I want to do something with him, and we had tried a few things, and So this was one too because I think it was basically the success of Earthbound 2 pretty much. I had a little kind of like influx of that because that one the crowdfund was like 80 grand came in or whatever,
Uh-huh.
you know. And so I reinvested just a ton of that back into comics. I got a couple different projects going. So that's part trying to answer your question is if I have the cash, I'll reinvest it because I'll always be doing one comic myself. I'll be like writing and drawing one myself. But then I try to get like one where I'm writing it and someone else is drawing it.
So
And
this
Cerberus
isn't your
was like
art.
that, and this was like that.
So this isn't your
Huh?
this is Jared's art.
Yeah, this is Jared, and him and my art styles are fairly similar.
Yeah.
He's a little more cartoony than me, but it's kind of a similar style. Yeah,
Like I was looking
like that. Yeah, that kind of looks like my style almost.
Yeah, 100%. Because like you have a very cartoony, fluid style. Like there's a lot of things going on, and you're
Yeah.
not afraid to get like you have a lot of shapes in your art. And also you guys both look like you utilize Blender and like
Yeah.
and like three. And so I was like, this is everything that Purr does in his art.
Yeah.
And
And
you-
that was me because I'm a little more like the project lead on this one. Like I kind of hired Jared and paid him, you know, and and so I was like, we'll do it. I've been doing this style with Grand Prix where I do 3D backgrounds and draw the 2D characters over the top. We can do that too. And then I can kind of help. So I helped with some of the 3D. I helped set up some of the pages. So it goes like kind of fast. But then you say that and it's like I think the whole project from writing it to getting the second one done and now fulfilled, it'll be like 4 years or something.
Yeah,
for
dude,
the
I'm
whole
looking at
thing.
like 120 pages each one. Like that's
Yeah.
huge, and it's not a black and white book. It's full on color.
Mhm.
That's intense. What made you go? What made you want to like start using like Blender 3D backgrounds and mixing it in with with the 2D art?
Yeah, I mean, I did it first on Foreign Agent, which that one's black and white and it's so minimalist anyway. Some people don't even notice, I think, that it
Mhm.
has 3D backgrounds. But that one has 3D backgrounds, and I kind of like that process. I like being in Blender and using the camera. It helps you get perfect perspective every time. Helps you understand perspective better if you're just drawing it too or whatever for other projects. But yeah, you're kind of picking the angle, the lens, the camera angle. The storytelling aspect is like makes it more like filmmaking in a way, which
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed that. So I kind of kept doing that, but I don't do it with every project. But like Grand Prix is like that, and then Hotel Stories like that. I'm gonna wrap up Grand Prix, and then I might eventually go just full traditional because I have gotten more into that as I've done more of it, and then you can sell the pieces, which actually counts for a lot, kind of.
Yeah, here's the digital art nerd in me. Like what tablet do you use for your digital art?
Yeah. Oh, I have an XP pen, which I think those are low bottom of the line kind of thing.
What I think those are pretty good, right?
Okay, I mean, I actually love it, but it's funny. It actually was wigging out on me
Oh shit.
after I'd had it for about a year, and I slapped it like I did the Fonzie thing, like and it worked. And now seriously, like it'll break like every 6 months, and I slap it, and then it
Shut
works
up.
again. So,
Is it like
yeah.
the draw like a 24-inch like drawing?
Yeah, it's just like this kind of flat tablet, pretty light, portable, which is nice.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not huge. I think it might be 16
The
inches.
16-inch.
Yeah.
I watched a video of Boichi. He did like Dr. Stone the manga, and someone asked him like, why don't you get a bigger tablet? And he's like, because if you get a 16-inch tablet, you can like it, for their manga pages, it's like perfectly like with the canvas he has in Clip Studio. It's like he can see exactly what the printed will look like
Oh, cool.
on a
Yeah.
16-inch, and I was like, oh damn, man, I have a 22-inch, and sometimes when I'll get the printed book, I'm like, oh, I thought I had, like, you can't even see that detail, like.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is with any like of these monitors, if you turn them off, you can see where you are scratching on the screen,
Uh-huh.
and it's always like a 4x4
Yeah,
square right
it's,
in the
it's
middle.
the same spot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's sick. So tell us a story about Hotel Story. Why should we get into it?
Yeah. So it's a kind of simple story, which is fun, but it's a witch at the top floor of this suite in the hotel. She kind of casts this spell that basically is a mass sacrifice spell. She's going to sacrifice the entire hotel to this demon to kind of renew this contract. It's going to give her extra time on in the earthly realm because she made a contract like 700 years ago. Um, and like, so she isolates the hotel. That's part of the first part. Her spell has like nodes. So the first node isolates it. So nobody can get in or out. And then there's people who slip through the cracks and they're kind of trying to survive, trying to escape. But there's also kind of this like angel FBI force, and they can't get in because of her spell. But one of them can kind of infiltrate through dead bodies, but he can only possess one dead body at a time. So at first, her plan is like to not kill anyone, so that nobody can get in. But she ends up tying up a dead body, almost like a trap for him. So he possesses that, then he's already tied up. So then he's kind of screwed. But he finds a way. Some shit happens and he escapes, and then it's like it all takes place in one night. So it's 240 pages one night. It's comparable to like a movie a little bit in that way. Like this, it's almost like a short story. Like it's just like this. It's all about this spell. Will she succeed or not? Will they survive or not? Are they going to get her or not? And then all the crazy stuff that happens.
So this is the complete story, or is there going to be a Hotel Story 3?
No, volume 2 finishes it completely. Yeah, which is fun. That's my biggest pitch. It's like the Seinfeld pitch, pitching like it's a show about nothing. I'm like, this is a complete story. Do you guys understand what that means? Like, I don't know. Who else can promise that?
No, like that's a big thing, especially like indie comics. Like I really tried to ride that when I was with my Super Plumber Sisters the last campaign. I was like, guys, this is it. Like,
yeah,
this is a complete story. There's not a lot of indie comics that you can say this is it. It's done.
How many times have you been left hanging? I mean, I know because I've done it. So yeah.
Yeah, we're still waiting for all these Earthbound stories. You know.
Yeah, I know. I'm right in the middle of Grand Prix. Yeah, luckily Earthbound, the first one wrapped up, but the second one, Grand Prix, is like got delayed because of working with Mark Miller, and now like right after this, I'm gonna start getting back on that one.
Yeah, like it's indie comic. Yeah, and like to put out like a 240 page book. I mean, it's 2 graphic novels. I mean that's really impressive. Not a lot of creators can one even put out that amount of volume. I mean, most creators can't get to like issue 2 of like they're 20 pages each. Do you get, because you are a writer and an artist, do you ever have to have like self-control of like, okay, I've got to finish this project before I jump into the next idea?
Yeah, because it can be like the meme where the guy's like looking away from his girlfriend at the other girl. Yeah, it's like whatever you wrote most recently is the thing you kind of want to do the most. And I am okay at that discipline of being like, nope, we're gonna work on this other stuff.
Because your style is like, I'm sure, I'm curious, you can probably make a book pretty quick. I'm assuming your style's pretty fluid. I'm sure the coloring's probably the longest part of it.
Yeah. I forget what my like in theory, I feel like I could do, if it was like this style, I feel like I could do like 240 in 1 year, which is insane.
That is insane.
But it never really works out that way. Like maybe 180 I could get to. Like so many things come up. I don't know if you're kind of writing too, and then you're taking a few cover commissions, and then whatever else. Because I do it full time for now. Again, knock on wood. But that is like, so every day I kind of, every night I kind of make a list of what I want to do the next day. Let it percolate in the subconscious a little bit. And then you wake up, get a cup of coffee, and kind of hit it. And I don't necessarily like grind 12 hours a day, but if I get like a really productive morning and then a medium productive afternoon where I'm a little more like distracted and got YouTube in the background and checking email, some of that just email, whatever.
You got to be disciplined. Like if you're going to do it, I say I did it full time for a bit. I was just unemployed. It was tough because like, the money that you bring in is purely off of the success of your projects. And like I put out a project, it didn't hit the way I thought it was, and I was like, great. I'm like, now I was banking on that paycheck. It's super stressed me out. How long have you been doing it? How long have you been doing it full time?
It was around Earthbound when that one popped off. I quit my job at the Fred Meyer Deli.
Yeah,
And
I
then I've
remember
kind of
that was a
been,
big thing. Like when
yeah,
it was like,
because that was a meme. Yeah, because I
yeah,
was like, he's coming from the Fred Meyer Deli
yeah.
straight to Comic Pro or whatever. But yeah, so that was like a while ago now. You know, that was like 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, so
Uh,
that's been good then.
yeah, but then it does feel like I do wonder, like I don't exactly have a plan B. I'm like, I don't want to go back to the deli. I'm like, maybe I could get a job teaching. There's a local college around here. I'm like, I'm straight up thinking about looking into that or like tutoring because I am like wondering. I'm just nervous about. Yeah. So I do it's I don't know if it counts as stress, but like definitely nervous.
Well, you
I'm just
gotta.
wondering about the future, you know. But
I was talking to Chad Harden, and he was like, he gets regular work with DC, but he was like, dude, I take this teaching. He teaches several classes at the our local university, because he's just like, dude, like you just never know.
yeah,
He's like, I get regular work, and I still am just like, this could be the year that I just don't get
yeah,
the thing. And for me, I'm like that kind of stability is scary, but at the same time, like the hardest part I think about comics, and like I've been creating this course about a business, is that like the goal is like there's no winning in this game of comics. The goal is to keep playing. Like if this is a poker table, you just want to be able to have enough chips to keep staying in the game
yeah,
of comics. And like it's crazy. I remember I was talking to gosh, what's his name? I think it's Matthew Hollingsworth. He was doing work at Marvel. He had like a creator-owned series at Image. He was doing the Punisher, Hawkeye, and one other Marvel book. And he was like, "Yeah, I have 6 roommates and I'm eating ramen every day." And I'm like, "Oh, I was like, that sucks."
yeah,
But at the same time, it's like he's like, "I love comics. I'm willing to do it." But he's like, I'm trying to save all my money because I just don't know, like,
yeah.
when this stops.
Yeah. Well, and like say you have like in comics, say you have a hit, like whatever in the upwards of 20, 30, 40K or whatever, then you launch another one. Yeah. It's like there's no guarantee it's going to stay that high at all. Like, so
Yeah. No.
even if it's a straight sequel, like what you're saying.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I'm to me my goal with all of my books is to just hit 11K. If I can hit 11K on each book, I'm happy. Only because Kickstarter will take their 10%, so then 10,000 just looks nice in my bank account, makes me happy, and then
Yeah.
it gives me enough to make the book, fulfill the book, have enough to make the next book, and then have a little bit to say like I earned this.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like the numbers for me as far as like investing in comics, because besides Hotel Story, there's Cerberus is a big one. Have you seen that? That's
Yeah.
it's a talking dog detective one. Monica McCagney's the artist. She's amazing.
Fantastic artist. I remember
Yeah.
seeing her art and being like, crap, like how do I find her on social
Yeah.
media? She's super good.
And yeah, and part one for that one, it was like 600-700 backers, 28,000 are on there, like so pretty good, you know. And then I haven't watched part 2 yet. I'm like looking forward to it. I'm nervous about that too, but
And you did
part
that on
one
Indiegogo.
sort of, yeah, that was on Indiegogo, yeah. And part 1 like sort of broke even depending on how you like measure because of the expenses of hiring Monica and I hired a colorist and a letterer and everything, you know. So I kind of did everything, and yeah, it kind of broke even. But yeah, like I think between that on the shorts like Cave Slave, it's over 50 grand of what I've invested into comics. It might be like more towards 60 or 70 even, but this is over, mind you, this is over 5-6 years now or whatever. But yeah, it's like straight up breaking even, like every single time. I haven't like made money yet that way, but then money has been coming in to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And that kind of like some of that, as far as the breaking even, like there will be a little left over to invest in the next one. So that does kind of count as profit maybe, but.
Massive Panda says, why I like Narwhal's art? It looks like a cartoon rendering over low polygon beta testing for Nintendo and PS1 games. It's extremely unique and cool looking. Oh, and then Massive Panda, correct. It's Matthew Rosenberg, yes. Matt Hollingsworth is Sean Gordon Murphy's colorist.
You're right. Yeah, Rosenberg, yeah. Yeah, and thanks. Yeah, and I get that a lot, and I totally see it, and I have that influence. I love low poly 3D. I would almost do a comic all low poly, but like it doesn't really work. You got to have the characters pop. You know, it's funny in the 2000s that it was like a new technology. So then you do have kind of a few, the kind of movement of artists at the time being like, I'm on the forefront. I'm going to utilize 3D in comics. And they're all like pumped on it. And it was all trash. You know,
Oh,
it was all crap.
I think I found like I have a bunch of Batman books, and I think Grant Morrison for one like arc, it was like one or two issues, and it was all like Daz 3D, and I was and it's like I don't I think I'm sure it's integral to the story. I always skip it because I'm like I just can't look at this. It looks awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they they tried. You know, comics is expensive. Like I was doing the math, and I was like, man, like I could maybe save. I could probably hoard a couple extra thousand on each project if like I sat down and drew it.
Yeah.
But then like it's not. Then it's like not scalable because then you're drawing. Like you can't be drawing that much, and it's a tough business. But one thing that I think you're doing right is I don't, and maybe you won't see the fruits of it now, but you're building a big enough catalog that you can sell forever. I told the story last week, like at the book publishing company I worked at, they had like 30 years of books that like never sold. My friend and I, who's now my business partner, we would go into that warehouse, try to find like books that we were like, okay, what book has a lot of inventory that looks good that we could try and sell again? Found this book that was like 7 or 8 years old. We did some marketing on it, threw it up on Amazon, and every year forward, we sold anywhere from like 5,000 to 10,000 copies of that book.
Cool.
And it was like this testament to me of like, I just need to get, the hardest part is actually just making the book. And then after that, I could, you know, maybe I have like 10 or 20 books. I could just say I'm done making and just start sell these forever.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And I kind of like working in that direction myself of,
it's just comics
kind of
take
building
so
up the
long.
library.
They just take so long to make.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know and I like the idea of like if approaching it as a business where you're kind of building the product, and maybe it's as writer, but you could do it where you're hiring writers too. Like where you're just like, I don't know if then you're like an editor, or in Hollywood you'd be like a producer or something, but like you're just putting it together. You're the money guy putting it together, and then you sell it and you keep the profits. Like I like that. If you can make that work, that's a fun skill to have too, to kind of juggle different, you know, a lot of it's building and networking people that you trust and like, you know, too. But yeah. Actually with Jared, he's a great collaborator, and that's something like we're kind of buds on top of it. But actually with this, there's a fun anecdote with Hotel Story because we had a script we were going off of, but we actually, we did weekly Zoom meetings, and we would kind of like improv the script and go off script and like see what we could dig down on to like get funner things to happen with the action or the dialogue. Cool. And yeah, we really like punched up the script basically as we went. And I couldn't do that if I was working alone. I don't think you have to have someone to bounce it off of.
Yeah. That's something that I probably should do more, is like collaborate with like the people I work with. I'm so like stingent. Like I literally I thumbnail every book because I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, this is kind of like, this is how I want it. And
you know, some artists like that. So depending on who you're working with, they like, hey, just tell me. Monica was a little bit like that. She's like, my job is to make you happy, so just tell me what you want and we're good. That was like,
yeah, luckily the art, like I work with this one guy named Tommy a lot, and he's like, he's able to draw the books faster because he doesn't have to guess what the script, like look at the script, and then he's like, I just know that I can draw your book fast, you still pay me what I want, and then I'll just go do someone else's project, and then by the time you're ready for the next one, I'm able to just bang out your book. Let me see. I got questions for you. I got another question for you. You might get canceled for this answer, depending on what it is. What are your thoughts on AI? Like like using AI in comics, whether it's like writing or like even in the art. And I ask you that because, like, I remember when I looked at your art and I was like, I remember you posting something like, I'm using Blender as a background, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I think that's so cool, and like that I remember that gave me personally, it gave me like permission to like go, let me like think outside the box, and I started learning about like 3D Blender, like 3D assets and like building stuff, and it's like, man, like what, like there are like no rules to art. You
Yeah.
can just make stuff, whereas sometimes in the community there's all these arbitrary, like, you don't do this, you don't do that. And so what are your I'm curious what your thoughts are though
Definitely.
on AI.
Yeah, so I'm definitely like my initial reaction is I'm kind of a contrarian, and I sense, so I'm almost like I don't hate AI side. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm pro AI,
Uh-huh.
but with AI, I did it one AI comic, a little short comic, as a test with AI backgrounds, and I drew over the top, and it's in the shorts compendium, and it's that one too. It was early Mid Journey when it fucked everything up and
Uh-huh.
made it look super scary, and I used it for a horror comic, and it worked pretty as like a meshing of the media to actually make sense thematically. So I excused myself, and but I don't know if people know that. And I don't know how much I should like. Hey, yeah, I've actually made an AI
Uh-huh.
like I wouldn't trumpet it from
But
the mountain on Twitter or
but it
whatever.
wasn't
But
like you fully used AI, like you still
yeah,
drew over it. Like I feel like that's like the gray area. Like I've been seeing a lot of Kickstarters that are using AI, but then they're like, we painted over it, or like we still
yeah, and
did
then
something,
sometimes they'll just like say that. I'm
but they
worried
haven't.
to yeah, or like they'll add one little stroke or
Like,
whatever. But and then another part of the question is like, how scared are you of AI? And I keep going back and forth. I feel like I'm not that scared of it for some reason. Although there is one thing I am wondering, the dystopian vision where everyone just has their own like AI minstrel, so nobody's buying comics anymore. Like nobody shares media at all. Everyone has their own like AI dreaming for them. You
oh
know,
yeah, it's where it's like, man, I wish there was a comic like this, and then it makes it for me.
Yeah, and
I've
then nobody
yeah.
else reads it. It's just for you, and nobody's connecting on anything. Like that scares me, but I don't know how realistic that is.
I don't. I think it's pretty realistic because I know like there's a Netflix AI that's trying to do that. Like, you generate the show that you want. I know that I know that there's a video game company they're trying to do that where you say like, this is the kind of game I want. These are the elements.
Yeah,
Boom, make it for me. I think there's pros and cons to that. I mean, there's a game that I personally, there's a type of game I want to play that they'll never freaking make, and if AI can do it, boom, 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 then like boom, I got it. But then at like what cost?
yeah. And what would like then like maybe a streamer with a huge audience, like an influencer, their stuff that they create with their AI might get an audience, but yeah,
Yeah,
like no one else will or whatever. So that'll be weird.
dude, that's why like I'm very much like um I'm like telling everyone at work, I'm like, guys, every one of you guys needs to start building a personal brand, because in a world of AI, the only way that you're going to be able to build trust is be like, this is me, like we my like employees, they sent me a text saying, hey, we took your Crumble gift card from your desk and we bought ourselves cookies. And I was like, I was like, no, you didn't. Like, you guys wouldn't go into my desk and take my Crumble gift card. And they're like, no,
Mhm.
no, we did. And then they sent a picture of our office, and there was a box of Crumble cookies all eaten. I was like, oh crap, I guess they did. Well, like, whatever. And I went in the next day, and they're like, Tyler, that was AI. And I'm like, what? They go, yeah, the box was AI. Like, I was like, really? And I pulled it up, and I was like, this looks real. And they go, here's your gift card. It's fully loaded. I'm like, what? And I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
And
that's kind
that's
of a good use of it for a prank, because that would
yeah.
kind of a simple thing.
Yeah, I don't yeah, I'm curious, like there's an AI, it's called Mesh, and it'll do 3D objects for you.
Yeah.
I've used it once. I couldn't draw, for some reason I was struggling to draw a table. So I just like used it. I went 3D object table, and then I was like,
Yeah.
downloaded it. I think that's a pretty good use case of using
Yeah,
AI.
because you're still putting it all together. That's similar to like how I use Blender, even with comics or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
you're still
because
crafting the scene and the set.
yeah, because that'll be even that will get yelled at from time to time. Like, oh, they're using 3DS, they're just tracing or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I modeled all this stuff myself, so it's fun. This is part of the art. I enjoy it.
See, they can yell at me. I didn't model any of the stuff, so I pay for it. Sometimes I'll either pay a 3D artist to like model something for me, or I'll just like buy it.
Yeah. So I still think that's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, people just get up in arms about that stuff. I mean, what are your thoughts? You know, we've been doing this since like way before 2018 and stuff, but like we've seen the ups and downs of everything. What are your thoughts on like the Rippaverse? Like, they're not like the new kids on the block because they've still been around for like last 3 years, but I feel like they're still very powerful in the scene. Like, they didn't just drop off. They're still killing it. What are your thoughts on having been in the scene for as long as you have? What are your thoughts on the Rippaverse, and like why do you think they're still doing well?
I like them for that. I think they scaled better than anyone so far by like 10x or whatever. Like, you know, like anyone who had a chance to like scale. So a lot of people kind of didn't do it. Like even your boy Zach, like he had a chance to scale.
He didn't. Yeah.
He kind of didn't do it. And yeah, so I love that they're doing that. They're just reinvesting back into the business. So I just feel like it is going to keep growing, and it is going to just, like, I would definitely bet positively on the Rippaverse.
And like the people that like I feel like you and I saw like who could quote unquote who could have scaled but they missed their opportunity. A lot of it was just the fact that they didn't stick to just making the books. They didn't put their heads down, make the books. Like your boy Zach, like if he had just kept making books, I feel, and like just kept going, I feel like they would have kept growing. But instead, yeah. I'm trying to think of others. I was gonna say Doug Tenaple, but he just like bounced.
Yeah. Well, even like a little more like what you're doing, I like as far as like turning it more into a business is like it's not about your ego where you're the creator and the company is your vision necessarily, although because that's not exactly what like Eric July is doing. He's outsourcing, he's hiring other people, which is good.
Yeah, he's realized like, he's realized I should get like talent. He's brought on talent that share the same vision as him. And I think the only thing for me that I would do maybe differently than them, but like what do I know, like they're killing it, is I think I would stop introducing so many characters, and I would like concentrate like on a core like 5 for like maybe a couple years, and then bring on another core 5 and get people more invested in like ISOM or Yaira or Alpha Core. But I mean, they're still, I mean, what do I know? They're still, he's got a good fan base. And they're killing it.
And a lot of those people are like, they buy comics for the first time and then they like it and they'll look for other comics to buy. So it's helping everyone. So.
Yeah, that's true. And like, they're all like, his whole team is very nice. All the creators are nice. Like his editors, like everyone on his team is nice. And I do believe that they bring in like a lot of positivity. Sometimes their fans can be a little crazy, but like every big group has like, you know, I don't want to say crazy. They're just very passionate about supporting it. I think if I was to get offline on Twitter, none of it would even exist. But no, they're doing really cool things. What are your thoughts on like Iconic? Because they're still going around as well.
Yeah, I like what they're doing too. I know it's just really impressive, I guess. And I really like Eric Canede's stuff. I haven't read Arc Athena yet, but he wrapped up that arc.
Yeah, dude, he just dropped he's like, here's books 5 and 6, we're done.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But they are doing crazy numbers. They get 6 figures and many backers, and each one grows. Kind of focused on pretty limited IPs, only 2 or 3 they do, I think. So,
yeah, like Tim and Mark, they're very focused on Common America. Doug is earned like Soul Finder. Eric Canetti, you know, is Arc Athena. Maybe he'll do something new. I mean, they've built a good infrastructure. What are some things that you're doing to like Well, I guess what do you think is something that you've done within the last like 5-7 years in doing this that's helped you like keep going, to keep being in the game of
Yeah.
comics?
I think if you have a book that really pops off with like word of mouth, that really helps. And Earthbound was like that for me, which was my first book. And then Cerberus had that feel a little bit. And so I'm looking forward to Cerberus 2 and like hopefully and then you got to wait. This is what's a weird thing is that model like it relies on you releasing it and then you get the response, so you can't get super good sales necessarily. People don't know. So you're kind of hoping, and even hotel stories like that, like I think we will do a second offering next year that hopefully can capitalize on a little bit of word of mouth if people like the story, because finishing a story helps a lot too. It gives people that emotional climax. Or
When you can do
whatever,
like an
so.
omnibus, like where you can do the full 200.
Yeah, we're gonna do a collected. Yeah, maybe hardcover even or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another thing with just like doing these campaigns is it's just you just got to keep like showing up.
Yeah.
Are you still doing stuff on Indiegogo, or have you moved completely over?
Yeah,
to
I would, but I just like I don't think I'll do Hotel Story on both. And I'd be open to it. I forget the last I did an Indiegogo kind of randomly a month ago because I helped Brendan Swan with his second chance. His book is Disintegration Street.
Okay.
And it's so far it's just his book I've done this for, but I'd be open to doing it for other books. But if there's a book that underperforms because they didn't reach an audience, but I love the book, then I'll offer a second chance on my channel, and I'll take 10% and just give it all the money to them. But I take 10% like for my trouble.
That's nice because like your channel has like,
yeah, and it'll get it to my mailing list, which is like 1,200, and so it has to overlap with people who would buy my books. To really
you're not just
resonate.
doing it for everyone. It's got to be.
Yeah,
right
and even
mix.
like with Brendan Swan, it's like I think we might have got him. We did it twice actually, and got him like an extra, maybe a couple hundred backers even. But the most latest one was for everything, and it was like 30. But they bought everything, so they buy in at like 120.
Oh, nice.
Or whatever,
How's
for the whole series.
I'm looking at your Nosferatu book. Which do you prefer doing more, like color or like black and white?
Yeah, I like them both, but I love black and white, and I want to do another. I'm gonna try and do multiple black and white books coming up. A little stint of black and white because color's a little extra work, and I do love black and white.
It costs more to like print.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about I'm doing one book going to be printed at manga size, black and white.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, we're going cheap. We're going cheap on this one. That's one that Brendan Swan wrote. So that was one thing. I really loved his book, Disintegration Street, and I hired him to write something for me. So I'm going to try and draw that. Trying to squeeze it in, that's when I have to draw. So it's a lot of work, but I want to do that later this year, early next year, hopefully.
And then you stream every week. With I forget what is that
Creative Block?
Yeah, Creative Block with Rini. Is it Phil?
Yeah.
And then I don't know the other guy.
Jake AKA Hyper Wizard.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever talked with him before. Like, what was like the decision for you guys to like do that? Because sometimes you guys will hop on like each other's channels to like, is it always? It's not always on Rini's.
No, yeah. Over time, it's gotten more organized. Now we actually have a dedicated stream channel, and we'll multi-stream. So we rotate channels, but it will always be streaming to the Creative Block channel.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think that's okay.
We just started doing that like a month ago, and the show's like a year and a half / maybe 2 years old now. So like 2 years ago, and how it started was, I would randomly do like writers streams. And that was one that really clicked. So like I just got some writers together and we kind of talked craft on writing comics.
I remember you would do one with like Matt Krotz. Like you guys would like collaborate and like be like on a Google Doc and just like write.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a collab too in the background that will see the light of day sooner or later. But yeah, so there's multiple kind of times I've done that. And then just kind of, it was random, but we're talking in the back rooms and we're like, we should make this a show and we should do it weekly. And we had a little format is like each person who's hosting, if it's their week, they prepare a PowerPoint, like a 90s style PowerPoint presentation, something about like storytelling. And you'd be surprised because you know, the first couple of weeks, maybe you do like 3 act structure. I don't know if we ever exactly did that, but you do all this basic stuff, and then pretty quickly you're just getting into whatever weird idiosyncratic stuff you want to talk about.
Like there's only so much of the basics you could do where it's like, all right, you better go a little deeper this episode.
yeah, and it gets kind of fun. Like Phil, a lot of times he's just done deep dives on various archetypes. So he did one week on the Fool, and we talk about the Fool, some examples and blah blah blah.
That's fun. Caden Sketch here says, I've listened to Creative Block a couple times. I was impressed by how well a bunch of artists knew the craft of storytelling.
Ooh, thanks. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, dude, you get really into it. Like I remember watching like a lot of the streams that you would do with Matt Krotz, and I'm like, geez, these guys are like really getting into like the weeds of storytelling. I'm just trying to get my character from point A to point B, and these guys are like,
yeah,
getting into
it's as much as you want to like try and like do it that way, you can. And I think what you just said is actually a great approach too, to like kind of treat it kind of simply or whatever. But
yeah, I mean,
not overthink it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I always know like I'm trying to get from my characters from point A to point B, and then I'm just like chucking obstacles, like in the middle, and then like and then I just try to like how do I like just inflict as much pain as I can on my character, and like what is it?
Yeah,
That's like my basic way. I know someone's probably gonna watch like, oh, that's why I hate Tyler for what he said, but.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It is. I get a little self-conscious if I talk about it because I just can hear people, rebuttaling or whatever. They're like, "Who's this guy think he is?" or whatever, But if I think of a little writing hack, I'll write them down. And like, even what you're saying, like I have one written down. It's like, give each character one iconic trait that requires resolution of some sort within the plot, so it kind of has its own problem baked in. And I started doing that, and it's like this is so like quote unquote formulaic, but hey, it works pretty good. So
sometimes you have to like take these fun risks. I made a comic. I only sold 2 copies, and thank God. And it's probably you can probably buy it somewhere on the internet. And it's a graphic novel, and like unless you're really paying attention, like the story you if you read it from start to end, you'll get like one type of story. But if you look at the pages, you'll see that each page, every 4 pages, it changes the date of the story. And so you start realizing, oh wait, this whole story is being told out of order. And so if you then were to rearrange the story and read it in order, you would get a completely different story that still leads you to the same ending, but with different context.
Cool. And I like that. That's cool.
I thought it was cool, and I got like the worst reviews. They're like this. Someone was like, so this comic sucks. Like that's all they emailed me. They're like, so this comic sucks. And I was like, all right. I was trying, like, don't get me wrong, the art is absolutely shitty. Like it was my first time drawing on like an Intuos, and it was bad. But man, they were like, I remember emailing them back, and I was like, oh, is it because the art like sucks? And they go, no. The art did suck, but the story sucked. And I'm like, oh, damn. I was really trying something.
Yeah. Well, it's good to, like you're saying, I think it's good to take a swing and a miss or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part about comics is that you're really just trying to swing enough and get enough hits so that you can keep playing. And I think that's some reason why indie comics and comics in general can be so volatile and toxic is that for some people, there's only so many hits that they know they can take before they break. Like if you're a writer and you're like, I'm going to invest $5,000 into this comic, and if it doesn't make money, I can't do this anymore. And so you're going to get a little more stressed. You're going to be a little more, maybe a little toxic. You're going to be, you might be a little bit jealous of Per, who can draw and write his book. So you can take as many hits as you want, whereas like they can't. I think that's a big reason why there's a lot of toxicity is that there is like some people they have less swings at bat.
That's a good theory, because I'm curious about theories about that, because it doesn't always make sense on the front of it. You're like, why is the comic industry so toxic? And you're like, well, because they're all artists, everyone's sensitive, and they're at each other's throats, they're competitive, but none of that gets to the root of it, and that's a possibility. That at least is like a little bit more like psychological.
Yeah, like that's my belief is like I know that I think it's like a zero-sum game. Like there can only be one writer on Batman. It's either that guy or me. And it's like, how do I get me in there? But if I can get myself in there, that means that person is losing a gig. And so that person up there is going to do everything that they can to stay on. And it might be like, yo, don't hire Joe Blow. He fucking sucks. He's a rapist. And they're like, wait, whoa. And it's like, yeah, now you've now gone like another year on Batman. Or, you know, I remember talking to a writer once, and he was like, I am jealous that you can write and draw your books because you can put out more story. Like they're like, I've put out 2 issues of my story in 4 years, like 20 pages each, because that's all he can afford and like the speed. And he's like, I have all these stories, and it pisses me off that like someone like you, Tyler, can post all these stories, and I think all your stories are bullshit. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that like, I don't know, like learn to draw. Like that's what I figured out I had to do like 10 years ago was if I can't afford an artist, I got to learn how to draw. But I think psychologically, I'm sure someone would look at your body of work and go, man, fuck Narwhal. Like he's able to freaking make all these stories and they're shit. And and
if I'll get haters, getting haters is like a good step to success. A little bit. It's like,
first, like, thank you. Welcome.
If you can create a good discussion, and it might not even be haters, like it'll be people with legitimate complaints about my art style, but then there'll be people defending it, and that conversation kind of only helps me in multiple ways. It'll help me because I can, if it's good criticism, I can like take it, but then also people kind of see that I'm kind of in the light of conversation, and people are noticing.
Well, I remember that with Earthbound 1. Like at first you posted it, like there was a group of people were like, this is bullshit. And like Doug TenNapel was like, this is the shit. And then there was this big rally. And that's how awesome. That's how I found your stuff is Doug TenNapel was like, no, this is cool. And I'm like, I was like, I like that. And
cool.
Then that's how we're able to connect. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes it is good to get, if you can get haters and then use that to, as an engine.
I was wondering, it's like fishing for it is probably a bad idea, because it's, even if it works, it's like bad juju or whatever to like deliberately court whatever.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to like, hey, does anyone hate my art today? And then
yeah. And you know what I was gonna say too is I know for me, I feel like jealousy is this. I don't know if this is cheesy, but jealousy is a choice, and I will sometimes feel it bubbling up, and I fucking slap it down. So I just refuse to be jealous. But
do you ever use that as like fuel?
Actually, I mean, yeah, I'll get fuel, but it's not jealousy. It's more chip on shoulder style stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it'll be like, so even now, like there will be like maybe some pros, not Mark Miller, obviously, but there's a few pros over the years who I've reached out to, tried to network with, been friendly with, trying to like email with or whatever, and they like ignore my email, which is fair enough. Like, who are they? They don't owe me an email.
Yeah.
But if they ignore an email, like that pisses me off a little bit, and I'm like, I want to make a book that like is so much better than anything they've ever done that they feel shame, even though that it wouldn't be exactly what happened. But that's what motivates.
No, that's a good motivation. I think that's a healthy motivation. I think that's a healthy motivation. Like my current chip on the shoulder is if I see one more fucking 19-year-old on TikTok say I vibe coded an app and made like $10 million, I will like kill myself. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm so sick of like being on social media and it's like, I'm a millionaire and I'm 16 and like, maybe they're not, but like they're on a boat. I'm not on a boat. I want to, I don't want to dip my toes in some water. And so I'm like, they're hot. Like, I want to be hot. They're like walking around with their shirt off. Like, that's my chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Currently, Caden's
Yeah.
sketch says, "Yeah, spite motivates me."
Yeah. Spite can be a good motivator for sure. It's funny. That's like whatever. Like a lot of I think a lot of people use that famously. Spite.
I think it's the best. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the best. Before we wrap up the show, you did recently do a con with like Matt Krotz, like Rini. What was it like? Sometimes I feel like people get so like internet, and then you get to go like to the cons, and it's like that's the real world. That's where you're meeting real people. Like, what was the reception to like your stuff, meeting with people? Like,
Yeah. It seemed great. You know what I didn't kind of realize? Yeah, it's like beyond just like kind of our circles online on Twitter or whatever. There's like a ton of. It's just the industry's huge. I mean, people say the industry's actually really small, but I'm like, I feel like it's huge. Like at that convention, there was like hundreds of artists, all super good. It was actually a little intimidating. They were great. A lot of them are like really famous, all ages. Like some of them are published. Some just everyone's great. You can talk to literally anyone. They're all nice. So like it's just the greatest opportunity for kind of like networking, but just kind of realizing like, oh, we are actually in kind of a small pond a little bit, and we shouldn't be at each other's throats over this tiny pond, really. I don't think. But
yeah, I mean, I you were saying that you can like get in, you have like probably like 300 like dedicated backers for your project. I feel like the same way. I'm in a 300, 200 to 400 range, and like if you think about that, just the comic sphere and the manga sphere, like that's so tiny. Like that's a very tiny number. And it's like, why am I why are we fighting online? Over these 200, like there is another 200
over peanuts.
Yeah, like there's
because it's literally like millions.
Yeah,
but that could be another thing and a little frustration. Yeah. Like how do you reach them or whatever?
Well, but I mean I think a big thing. I think one big I feel like one wrong focus that we have in indie comics is we put so much emphasis on the crowdfunding aspect, at least in our circles, and it's like there's still like a whole there's the Amazons, there's like, can you get your book into Barnes and Noble, there's like, can you get people off your website or email, like there's so many other outlets, like can you sell your, like there's this guy, he sells his comic on TikTok, he's done 10,000 copies, the whole thing's done with AI, and I'm like, gosh dang it, like this guy can make a book. He's like, this is my graphic novel. And he sold 10,000 copies. And what sucks about it is it's TikTok verified. Like it's verified his sales. So you see them. So I'm like, you can see that he's actually done it. And you're like, it's that spite and jealousy. Like, how come but it's just like, I'm not putting in the work on TikTok. I'm not making content on there. It's like, so maybe if I could get a couple hundred sales over there. So there's just so many outlets, and I feel like we're always just like, who's Kickstarter and who's Indiegogo did what, and it's like,
I'm always curious about webcomics too. I might want to try that at some point, especially if I can afford it. But.
Dude, I want to like do more like comic strips, because those can be like, if you can do like 4 panels and they're like square, those are super good for social media. Like those could go viral, and then you could maybe point to then like your other books. But it's a great way to build an audience, I feel like, because those are shareable online.
I mean, do you follow Beetle Moses on Twitter at all? Just a random cartoonist.
No,
he's hilarious. But his cartoons, they're a certain type of humor. They're a little like Far Side-ish. He's like in that, but they're kind of hipster too. So anyway, I love them, and I bought a few prints even, and I have them in my house and everything. But I'm like, man, like on some level, he's a genius, because I'm like, damn, these are 3-panel comics, and they're so funny. They go viral. Every single one he posts goes viral, and they're kind of like barely funny sometimes. Yeah, this is them,
dude. Like, look at this, 2 million.
2
million views.
And see what I'm saying? Like, this is a hilarious comic. This is awesome. But it's both like Chud Demon and Weird Angel, like trying to get their bodies better, like
Yeah.
daydreaming as they're doing their little workout. Um, but yeah, so
But even
it's
but like
awesome.
you look at like I feel like some creators will look at this and go, "Oh, this is really simple." And it's like, "No, this is harder. Like this is
Yeah,
harder than a 20-page or a 100-page graphic novel. This is way harder."
yeah. Try to do it because like that's something I actually can't do this. So that's why I respect it even more or whatever. But
I like the one reason why I don't have any college debt, thank God, is that I got a scholarship for doing newspaper strips for 4 years.
cool. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had to learn how to tell a story in 1 to 3 panels. I haven't done that in forever, and it's so freaking like, and they were political, so like they weren't like super creative. It's like,
Yeah.
like Trump and like school shootings and crap. But yeah, this is something that I'm like interested in doing. It's just like it's a lot harder.
Yeah. It is hard. But Beetle Moses, he did one comic and I immediately bought it. And it's great too. But it's funny. It's like, I don't think it went viral like his other things do. I don't know how much he sold it or if he sold a ton or not.
But the thing is,
um,
like, he sells them as prints.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing good. He got commissioned by the Seattle Seahawks. He's like their official cartoonist
That's
somehow. Like,
awesome.
yeah, and I live in Washington, so Seahawks are like our team, and I'm wondering if he lives in Washington too or what. But yeah, the Seahawks. I thought he lived in California. I get
Oh, that's
like
crazy.
Hollywood vibes
I
from
grew up
him.
in Washington. Did you know that?
No, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I live on the peninsula, like in kind of by Canada or whatever,
okay,
down from Forks.
okay. I grew up in south of Tacoma, University Place.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, this is something. Yeah, like this is stuff that like I'm interested in exploring, but it's just in a time management thing of
Yeah,
of being creative. So, all right, dude. Well, dude, thanks for coming on. I was glad that we were able to do it because like I was like literally setting up the stream and then you messaged me. You're like, I don't think this is gonna happen. I'm like, oh shit. I hope he's okay.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I had my freaking office little weird outlet popping and smelling weird, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
We're alive. Before we end the show, one more time, pitch us Hotel Story Part 2, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Yeah. So, chat, feel free to grab this one 240 page graphic novel between volumes 1 and 2. Fully complete story. Kind of reads real smooth like a horror movie. I call it a horror adventure, is the subgenre, because it's kind of like fun, but not fun in the way that it like reduces the stakes of like life or death. And yeah, it's about a witch in a hotel who sacrifices the entire hotel to kind of extend her deal with the devil that she made 700 years ago. And then some of these tenants of the hotel or patrons slip through her initial clutches and they're just trying to survive. They're trying to escape. They're just trying to see what they can do. And it's like pretty chaotic, but pretty organized chaos. I think some of the, we had a few quotes from readers who enjoyed it, but that's the idea, is that it's like kind of structured even pretty well, even though it's like just like one big action scene in a way. Like once shit hits the fan,
It's going. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
We dig that. So guys, go check out Hotel Story Part 2. It's on Kickstarter. You guys have 53 days to go. Here's the thing about Kickstarter. You don't have to have the money now. You just have to have the money by October 4th. So you could back for $1 million right now, and you're not going to get charged until October 4th at 9:55 a.m. So
Yeah. And I think they let you do pay in quarters even. So
yeah,
you could
I
do it.
saw that as a feature. Yeah. Did you say yes to that?
I can't remember. I would have if I think I did, and
Okay.
because I like that. Yeah, giving people the opportunity that really can. If you've been paying $10 a month for 4 months is nothing. Like for this to get volumes 1 and 2 for the 240 page hard copy, it's $54. So that's like the one I recommend. People just get the whole story, get both books.
Yeah, yeah.
They go nicely on your shelf together.
If you're new to the book, like these are the two options. that you should check.
Yeah.
That you should check out. I'm probably gonna like talk to the missus, and we're gonna go for one of these. We're probably gonna go for one of these. This is a guarantee, but if I can sneak this in,
Yeah,
if I can sneak this in,
I'm glad to offer the digital. I haven't always done that, and me and Jared talked, and we definitely want to do that, especially because poor, poor international backers with the shipping. It's so
oh yeah, dude. I mean, like, I think my shipping like for internationals for like a floppy starts at like $30,
yeah,
and I'm like, just get the digital, please, like for you
Yeah.
and I's sake. So
yeah.
awesome. For what do you got go? Like, where can people find you, and what can people expect from you?
Yeah, just I'm on Twitter, Narwhal Books. If you search it, I hope that comes up. But I'm Plaster Harris. It's this same tag. That's like an old tag. I don't know why I did that, but middle school or something. And fake name. It was like my fake CEO name, Plaster Harris. But
Yeah. So have you retired the Narwhal? So,
I've been signing. I was signing things for a while at Pear, aka Narwhal. And yeah, now I've just been doing Pear, but I still will like drop some narwhals in there, so I don't even know. But people joke that it's like dead name, but it's not exactly.
Wait, so
I don't know.
I have to find my Vatican City. What were you put on there? Was your full name?
Yeah, in Vatican City, I'm Per Berg. That's what started it. That's why people started saying he's not Narwhal
Yeah,
anymore.
his dead
whatever.
naming. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just assumed. I was like, yeah, it's just Narwhal on there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they asked me and I wasn't sure. I was like, oh man, there's like lots of pros and cons either way. But
Yeah.
like, I don't even know. And they just put Per. I was like, okay, works for me.
it's one of those like it's either use a pen name forever, or you can just start using that as like your professional. Like, this is the big deal. It's a mainstream, so I'm Pear.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's something like that. It's like,
No, I dig.
definitely mainstream work will be Per from now on.
Well, awesome. Well, Pear, thanks for coming on the show. And guys, go check out Hotel Story Part 1 and 2 on Kickstarter. I will say I think you should change the name of the Kickstarter to Hotel Story Part 1 and 2 series finale. And I think more people on the Kickstarter algorithm.
Well, thank you. That's a genius. I love that.
That's a big thing for like, because a lot of Kickstarter backers, they're used to jumping on series, and so if you like, I'll share my screen, like this, like it's very standard, like they're used to like 1, 2, 3, and 4, so it lets them know, hey, I'm offering all of these.
Yeah.
And then then if you add like series finale, I think it will help people go, oh, like it's complete, I can jump in.
Cool.
Just my 2 cents.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna do that, right now ish, or when we get off.
Awesome. It looks like we got you either 1 or 2 backers tonight.
Yes, thank
So
you.
we're at the 6K
Thanks,
mark.
Tyler.
So guys,
But yeah, I do it for free, or I don't need backers. I like talking to you. It went fast.
Yeah, dude. No, we'll have to do this again. I was gonna invite you during that Vatican City, and I was like, I don't want to be like a I gotta get Plaster. I gotta get Per on because he's on Mark Millar's. He's gonna be like, oh, Tyler, freaking jumping on
that would have
my clout.
It's funny, the timing. I would have been like, oh, you're a clout chaser too.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought about that, and I was like, I genuinely want to talk with him about it, but I can totally see this as being like a clout thing. So I was like, I'm just not. I'm just not. But when I saw you had Hotel Story, I was like, oh, it's on Kickstarter. I was like, I have to. I gotta reach out to him.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did. Yeah. And you can come on my channel sometime too if you ever want. It's not huge,
dude.
but
Dude, I'll hit you up. I think I'm gonna do another campaign. I'm trying to do 2 more by the end of the year. I think I have another one. So yeah, maybe I'll jump on. I'll hit you up around then.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, guys, remember to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Critical Reads says I just got it over 6K. Thank you so much, Critical Reads. And
thanks, Critical.
You guys have a great rest of your night.